Why do we say it just doesn't feel right? Why do we talk about our gut instinct in this day and age where we're so developed and we're so rational in our thinking?
Welcome back, B2B salespeople, and particularly my members in the Strategic Selling Group. Great to have you with us, and I have Cian McLoughlin with me.
Hello, John. Nice to be here.
Hey, it's great to have you, Cian. Look, we had a little discussion a while ago, and you mentioned something to me, and that is people aren't buying what we're selling, they're buying us and our stories.
Yep.
I'd like you to elaborate a little bit on that. I know you've got a lot of good content around that.
Well, look, this is a view I think I've formulated over the last number of years, and it really relates to the fact that much of the conversations and much of the feedback I get when I talk to decision makers about why they made their decisions, it isn't about product. It isn't about the price point. It's about the people they've engaged with and the connection that they've made with those people. And that is fascinating to me. And I think that's what's led me to the belief that us and the stories that we tell and the way that we engage is inextricably linked with the decisions that customers make.
I think it's absolutely right. And if we go back to the product, this day and age, there's not many products that are really differentiated from other products. They can, more and more, even big, massive investments people make, building bridges or whatever, it's commoditized to a large extent. So how are they going to make that decision? Well,
it's really interesting. So I think we like to think that our features and our functions are so special and so unique, and to some degree maybe they are, but a lot of the time from a customer's perspective, it's apples for apples. They struggle to differentiate, and that's what they're really asking us to do, help them differentiate. So as part of my new book that I'm writing, hopefully it'll be out later this year, the working title is The Decision Conundrum, Why We Buy With Our Hearts But Sell With Our Heads. I'm exploring those topics. I'm exploring things like pre-existing personal biases and the impact of things like neuroscience and neuro-linguistics and persuasion science on how people actually come to decisions.
I tell you, I've done a lot of interviews with Ian Lowe, and he's an expert on that topic, isn't he?
Absolutely.
And that whole concept of, we've got three brains, the stomach brain, the heart brain, and the head brain. There's more neurons down here than there are up here, and people do make decisions based on that gut feel.
Well, I mean, many people will have seen that Simon Sinek video, Start With Why. And one of the things he talks about in there, he said, why do we say it just doesn't feel right? Why do we talk about our gut instinct in this day and age where we're so developed and we're so rational in our thinking? Because the reality is we haven't evolved that much, and our limbic brain is still guiding a lot of our decisions. We're asking ourselves, do I like and trust this person? Who do I know that's worked with them? Can I connect with them on a personal level, or is there some level of emotional connection or congruency? We may not even be asking that question consciously, but subconsciously we're asking that, and that determines do we feel more or less connected.
Well, you say we haven't developed a lot. The reality is I hope we don't, because to me that's being human.
It is.
And when I'm buying something, I want to express my human nature. I want to use that to make the decision. I don't want to be all yes, I'll try and be logical, but ultimately, if I like the person I'm buying from, I like the concept and feel of the company I'm dealing with.
Exactly.
I'm going to be much more comfortable.
We hear that all the time. Cultural fit is number one with a bullet in terms of why companies are making decisions to go with one vendor over another. The quality of the people, all of these things which are far more related to interpersonal skills and people than they are to products or pricing. That doesn't rationally make sense. But the reality is, if it is apples for apples, I'm always going to go with the person or the company or the cultural fit that most aligns with where I am and where I feel my organization is going.
It's a great message, and we do buy with our heart, not with our head. So bottom line, what's the key message you want to get across to the audience out there?
Well, what I'm hoping to do in this new book is I'm actually hoping to create a framework which looks at the whole process of B2B selling from a different perspective, less about the IQ, more about the EQ, and really help guide salespeople in terms of how to tap into both of those. If your product is terrible, it's never going to sell. That's absolutely fine. So the reality is we need to be selling on both levels. We need to be selling at the EQ level, helping people make that decision, and then need to be selling on the IQ level to help them justify the decision they've already reached. And if we can do both those things, we're quids.
If you're selling only on one of them, you're probably not going to be successful.
You're going to struggle.
Okay. Great message, and I want to talk to you about some of those other things you mentioned, IQ versus EQ and so on. Will you come back and let's have more discussions?
I sure will. Thanks, John.
Thanks, Cian, and thank you very much to the audience out there. Hey, when this is published, make sure you comment, give me your feedback. And by the way, if you've got any topic you want me to address with Cian or anybody else amongst the people I interview, please let me know. Thank you very much, and look forward to seeing you next time.